Welcome to the channel. It's time to get back to the CR500 project, and today I'm going to be going through setting up the airbox for the CR500 engine and the aluminum frame. So we've got this plate from CP500, boot from CP500, and I picked up another subframe and airbox that looked a little nicer than what I've got from privateermxsupply.com. Got a decent deal on that. Check those guys out. Might be able to help you in the future. Let's get into it. I had parted out a 96 CR250 and I kept the entire airbox, so I figured maybe that would come in helpful here, and actually it's going to. The cage, ring, plate, I don't know exactly what to call them. Those are all going to actually work for this. CP500 recommends a 98-99 CR250 airbox. This again is a 96. If you compare these two, this one's a little bit shorter, so I don't think that's going to work, but all of these other parts are the same for it. So I'm using CP500's boot and the 96 CR250 hardware right here, the plate from CP500, and airbox and subframe right here from 2005 CR450. We're going to start by removing this boot, and we'll get this plate on there, maybe do some trimming, probably have to pull this guy off as well. Should be able to pull this inner stay off now. I'm just going to apply pressure to the bolt, see if I can get it to break loose. So what appears to be going on here is we're actually stuck to the boot itself. Previous owner applied a lot of silicone, it looks like. All right, 3 hours later, we've got this original stay that they glued down. And now we should be able to get this boot out. Oh, we're bleeding. So this guy is going to fit up here, something like this. You can tell this is going to be in the way. So I'm going to drill those rivets out. We'll reuse that somehow. So this guy appears like it's going to fit just about like this. And I'm going to have to take down this area right here because that's holding out on it. So I'll grind these down flush. Alright, that fits nice and flush now. For now, we're just figuring out exactly where this thing needs to be, make sure it fits on the bike itself, and we'll go from there. It appears that I'm going to want to mount this plate just about flush with that right here. I think that's going to work well. Yep, so that's what we're going to do with it. We're going to go flush with this edge, flush with the top, and mount this thing down. Now I've clamped this plate in place here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill out these mounting holes. Not this one goes too far, so I'm actually going to trim some off of this. Made a mark there and there. I'm going to draw a line, and then I'll mill that side flat. Also going to pop these 2 holes right here. I'm sorry, these 3 holes. That way I can mount the inner frame and get the airbox cut out so it'll accept this adapter and sit flush. Now we'll place this inner mount right in here. Alright, now we'll put our plate on. Toss some nuts on here just to snug it up. And now I'll trace around this plate anywhere that there's plastic so I can see what I need to trim out. Silver marker would work out a little bit better right here, but I don't got one. And now I'll have to remove this and trim the air box so this will be able to sit flush. Now I'm going to freehand what I traced out here with this Dremel. Wish me luck. Now we'll recheck for fitment. Of course, you can't really plug it in right now. But basically, at this point, this guy should be able to pass through here. And it looks like we're pretty much there. Might have to trim a little bit more once the plate is actually on so we see exactly where it is. But overall, we look very close right now. So I've drawn my line of the material that I want to remove. So I'm just going to cut that off and I'm going to round the edges over with a file so it looks nice. Off camera. So trimmed that off, filed it down. I think it came out pretty good. Nice. It is nice and recessed on this side now. Actually more than I was expecting. But it looks good. Now we'll see if this actually fits, which it does. So the only critical part for our seal is actually going to be in between these two surfaces. The boot will wrap around this guy. What we'll do first here is install the boot in the plate. Alright. Take a little time and clean this guy up before it actually goes in. Alright, that looks a little bit better now. I didn't bother on the inside. I'm going to be putting some silicone on there anyhow. One small crucial step has been missed. I can't seem to get this ring over top of this boot like this, so I've got to slip that on before I put it in. I need to take this back off, start over. Alright, now that this ring is actually on here, I will realize that I want to powder coat it. Look at that, I can manipulate it on and off. I'm just not going to lock this down. So I'll pop this together and I'll mount the plate to it. Now I can figure out what rivets we want to use. I grabbed a couple options. Quarter-inch and half-inch. I think we want to go with the quarters. With all the rivets in place. And there is our airbox. Now I will be putting silicone down behind this stay, but I want to wait till I'm ready to actually mount it. I'm going to powder coat or Cerakote this thing and make that look a little fresher, because that will be on the outside of the bike. So I'll do that. Then I'll put the silicone under the stay and the airbox is complete. However, we can check for fitment now. Hopefully it still fits. Look at that. She is in place. Dirty carburetor. That's not the one that's going on it anyhow, but it's the one that I found to test fit this. This is good to go. Here it is installed. Of course, after I installed it, I decided that I didn't want this aluminum, so I'm going to pull this back out and powder coat it satin black. So I sandblasted both the mounting plate and the ring that goes on the outside of this, and now I'm going to powder coat them satin black. Alright, got these parts freshly powder coated, but I am not going to put this back together right now because I need to figure out exactly what I want to do. My original thought was I was going to restore on this thing and clean it up. This one's not bad, a little bit of scuffing on it. Now I'm starting to think I might try my hand at hydro dipping, so we'll see how this goes. Make sure to subscribe, check out the playlist, and see what comes next on this build. Thanks for watching.